But first, let's begin with the story that is percolating around Major League Baseball right now, but surrounding the Players Union, as it looks like they have a new partnership. Penn Entertainment has secured a deal with the Major League Baseball Players Association to make ESPN Bet and the theScore Bet brands officially licensed sportsbooks of the Players Association's arm. It's a non-exclusive licensing agreement giving ESPN Bet and theScore permission to use players' names, images, and likenesses on wagering websites and apps. So this is the first of its kind, and again, non-exclusive, which means other companies can do the same if they pay the Players Association. Meanwhile, the National Basketball Association, regular season winding down. Also season winding down for the Philadelphia 76ers. That would include Joel Embiid. He's going to undergo arthroscopic surgery next week on his troublesome knee. He'll be reevaluated in 6 weeks and is expected to make a full recovery. Hopefully he gets to play a full season next year for the Sixers. Meanwhile, contract extension season going on right now in the idea that every single young player in Major League Baseball needs one. How about this? Ketel Marte, Jackson Merrill, all these players are getting locked up. Already through 2028, Marte has signed a new agreement, 6 years, $116 million. It includes a player option in 2031 for $11.5 million. And also Christian Campbell, who's basically played a couple of games in Major League Baseball, gets an 8-year, $60 million contract extension with the Boston Red Sox. So why are these happening? We will touch on that on tomorrow's show, potentially. We're expected to have former big league manager Buck Showalter on the program. Now, the top story in all of sports last night had to be this. The Los Angeles Dodgers won again. They were trailing 5-2. They came back to tie it. And then do I need to even ask you who hit the game-winning walk-off home run shot for the Dodgers yesterday? It was Shohei Ohtani, bobblehead day. Of course, Shohei Ohtani hits the walk-off shot. 6-5, the final. LA is 8-0 on the Major League season. The flip side of this, by the way, folks, the Atlanta Braves are 0-7 to start the season, and no team that's ever started 0-7 has ever made the playoffs. This is true. Meanwhile, Dave Roberts is running out of words, running out of compliments for Shohei Ohtani after another win, although he does say the team hasn't played all that great. Hard to believe.
I mean, it's, I think if you look at our club, we haven't, like I've said, we haven't really played great baseball. And tonight, obviously, was the worst night. Worst game we've played. But the pen has been fantastic. And you get two young rookie pitchers coming up against a good ball club, not playing great, but to chew up 2 innings apiece, shorten the game, give us a chance was huge. And, being down 5-0 early and to kind of deploy the bullpen, coming up on an off day, resting some guys that needed it. So it allowed us to still manage the workload for these guys, but I can't say enough about Dreyer and Ben as well. And also Kirby hadn't pitched in 3 days, 4 days maybe, and to pitch a clean 7th was huge to give us a chance and keep him relevant and fresh. And so it was just collectively, and Shohei being Shohei at the end, and what better way to finish the game on his bobblehead night with a walk-off homer.
All right, so Shohei with another home run, Jackson Merrill with a 2-run home run as well after signing his new contract extension. And by the way, the Dodgers are 8-0 and the Padres are 7-0. Dylan Cease struck out 7 in 6 1/3. The Padres have never started 7-0 until yesterday. Ivan Herrera, he's the catcher on the St. Louis Cardinals. He had his biggest game ever as a pro. 3 home runs as they beat the Angels by a final score of 12-5. He's the first catcher in Cardinals history to hit 3 home runs in one game, which definitely impressed his manager, Ali Marmol.
He can hit. He can really hit. He puts together incredible at-bats, rarely swings and misses. It just takes a professional at-bat, man. But those were 3 really, really good swings. So happy to see that out of him. Clubhouse is absolutely loving it right now. So very positive day. Yeah, that's what I've really liked about our club is they're not giving in. Even if you think about yesterday, it was a frustrating loss, but you go down 3 in extra innings and you come back and put the 3 spot on. Couldn't overcome it the second time, but I just like the overall fight. And then, that game turned pretty quickly. It's a huge blow. You got your number 1 on the mound, and that happens, and the guys that answered back immediately. So they're picking each other up, which is a big part of this. So.
All right, Garrett Crochet, we'll get to him in a minute. Another huge pitching performance for Boston. But first, Jack Leiter, a 1-0 shutout. The Rangers shut out the Reds 2 days in a row. Leiter struck out 6 in 5 innings. the Reds offense has gone cold. Meanwhile, the Red Sox have gotten a hot performance to start the season with their contract extension, one of many, by the way, 3-0 the final. Crochet 8 innings as they pitched a 3-0 shutout in the game yesterday, and Crochet talked about his performance after the win.
Yeah. I felt like there were a couple times where I lost it, but the pitches were competitive enough, and you add in the fact that we were playing pretty solid defense. A couple double plays definitely help your cause.
This was the first time you've pitched into the eighth.
Yeah.
How big a deal was that to, was there a conversation?
No conversation. I think that I was just in control leading up to that point. My first start in college, I went 8, and I haven't sniffed it since, so it's funny. But, it felt really good.
I mean, as ways go to celebrate a contract,
Yeah.
is that a pretty good one for you?
Yeah, I'd say so. Very excited, about the long term, but also really focused on the present. And, it was nice to kind of have a day to let it breathe so that then I could really focus up for the start.
Another huge pitching performance in baseball yesterday from Arizona Diamondback starter Zach Gallen. He tied a career-high 13 strikeouts. The Diamondbacks beat the Yankees 4-3. Pete Alonso with a monster series in Miami, a grand slam a couple of nights ago, a 2-run or 3-run home run to tie yesterday as the Mets beat the Marlins 6-5 in 11 innings. Alonso was on fire. I was there. He talked about it after.
I mean, I'm just happy I was able to come through for the team right there. It's just today was obviously a really important game for us, and just happy to help contribute.
Take us through the homer. You're down 3 there with 2 guys on. Was that one of the cases where you're looking at a home run?
No, for me, I'm just looking to just get a good pitch to hit over the middle of the plate, and thankfully for me, I was fighting off some really tough pitches there. I mean, he came at me with his best stuff, and he located some good ones, but especially early in the count. But I was able to just stand in control and let the ball show up where I wanted it to, and thankfully I was able to capitalize.
Zach Wheeler struck out 10 for the Phillies yesterday. Trey Turner came back, hadn't played in a bit with an injury. He had 3 hits. The Phillies beat the Rockies final 5-1. Over in the National Basketball Association, a very competitive game last night between Oklahoma City and Detroit. OKC wins this one 119-103, pulling away late. The Thunder are now 64-12 on this NBA season, pushing 70 wins. An incredible year for them. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 33 points in this one. He's about to get his first ever NBA MVP. After the game, talked about making sure that the team is focused as they head down the stretch.
I would just say it was like winning time. And we knew having a lead, the only way they can get back in is if they score. And if we stop them scoring, we'll win the game at the least. So that's what we hung our hat. That's what we focused on. And that's why we got a dub.
What is it about these Lou threes? They just seem to be such momentum turners sometimes in the course of a game.
Yeah, he's a big shot maker. His confidence never wavers. He steps into every shot like he's made his last 5. And that's why he's become the shooter he's become. He's confident, he works hard, he trusts his work.
Cleveland Cavaliers also picked up a win yesterday against the Knicks 124-105. The Houston Rockets have won their 50th game of the season over the Jazz 143-105, and the Miami Heat back in the NBA playoff picture. They've won 6 games in a row. They beat the Celtics 124-103.